I'm Danny Gurry, and you've tuned in to Good Morning Frederick. It's a podcast, about Frederick. Everything, the people, the businesses, the nonprofits, and the cool stuff. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Good Morning Frederick.
Hi, I'm Terry Lemire, Aging Life Care Manager with Healthy Home Living Solutions. I'm here at Village Crossing, and you're watching Good Morning Frederick.
Oh, good morning, Frederick. Happy 2025. Today is Thursday, January 2nd. I'm your host, Danny Gurry. Well, I have to tell you, first of all day yesterday, I thought yesterday was, once I got over it not being a Sunday, I thought it was Thursday. I woke up this morning thinking it was Friday. And actually, even when I was preparing my show last night, thought it was Friday. I mean, this 2-week period has got me in such a kerfuffle, but it is Thursday, January 2nd. And I hope you had a wonderful New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. We did. We had a great family dinner last night and enjoyed time with friends on New Year's Eve, which is always fun. It's always fun. Today's show, we'll have Bob Miller and Chris Michaels from WFMD's Morning News Express to cover your local Frederick news, weather, and sports. And then, happening in Frederick, we're going to go over all the events you need to know what's happening over the coming week. Then I chat with David and John, and it's the Battle for South Mountain basketball game fundraiser between Brunswick and Middletown. It's the second annual. They're looking for sponsors, but you're also going to want to mark your calendar for their event. And I talk with student entrepreneur Aarman, and he's got a company called Black Bolt AI, which is really, really cool. So I love these student entrepreneurs. They're so smart, and they're going to do great things for Frederick, and we love that they're part of our community. January's charity, Andrea's House. And I'm excited to donate proceeds from all Good Morning Frederick merch sold in January. That will go to Andrea's House. And actually, I might try to get them on again and chat with them about great stuff that they're doing. And every day they are helping people in Frederick, which we love that too. All right, let's go ahead and get our Thursday rolling along. Good Morning Frederick is sponsored by Heart Home Solutions, your solution for all your home remodeling needs. Whether it's basement refinishing, new kitchen or bath, maybe an extension. They like doing big projects. If you're selling and you need things freshened up, or maybe you just purchased a home and you need some changes before you move in, contact Heart Home Solutions. They can help. HART, Heart Home Solutions. .com. I think Bob Miller has jumped on, and we are going to go ahead and see what is happening with our local news, weather, and sports here in Frederick. Well, good morning.
Well, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you as well. 2025 is here.
Yes,
good morning.
It is already here. I've already have crossed off all my New Year's resolutions.
You're already done?
Yep, we're done. Well,
You're out.
Yeah,
okay.
I was like, not make fun of Chris. Done. Don't yell at Chris. Done. You know.
He was doing fine, Danny, with
Laughing,
not yelling at
Chris,
me.
son.
We were doing. He was doing good with not yelling at me until I brought up the movie thing, and bada bing, bada boom, that was it.
Ah, yes, I have the list. So I'm going to send it over to Bob for double checking.
Approval.
Yes.
And then we're going to get that started ASAP so I can make a
Wasn't
nice
he supposed
donation.
to do it last week? Wasn't he supposed to start last week?
Well, one, that was my fault. But did you watch anything on January 1st?
Wait.
Any movies?
Hold on a second. Before we get into that, did we say last week? Did I say I was going to start last week? Do you remember? I don't think I said that. That's one of our debates on air that we had today. I was going to start this weekend when I actually got the list.
Like
Okay.
Warner Wolf used to say, God rest his soul, let's go to the videotape.
I'm going to pull that up for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll have, all you got to do is get through, at least 100. If you can do more, I'll donate more. So there you go.
Me too, but he won't get, I unfortunately say that he won't get done 20.
Oh, come. See, that's what he was saying this morning. Give me a little more credit. Well, actually, I will say one thing. There are some movies on there that I've already seen. So, Forrest Gump. And I don't know what else is on there. I'm sure there's a couple.
I've taken the ones you've seen, which are like 3 off of the list. So it's okay.
You did?
Yeah. Yes, of course. You have to watch them.
Did you add more on there to make 100 or?
I will actually, I will add, and Bob will add some. So I will give you a list for up to 150. And if you've already seen them, then you can cross them off and I will donate based on that. But all the other ones, I'll go. So it'll be at least 150. Love it.
But we will need some kind of confirmation from somebody else to say that you watch it. You just can't, I mean,
he's going to have to do the book
bada
report.
boom, I watched a movie. A bada bing, a bada boom, I watched a movie. I crossed it off. No, that doesn't count. I want somebody to go, I verify he actually watched more than 5 minutes before he fell asleep.
Oh, yeah, so I was just going to say, before the nap kicked in, yes.
Yeah.
So does it have to be the entire one? Or, you know what I mean? The entire movie? Is there like a limit to where, like in radio with Nielsen ratings, they have to listen to at least 5 minutes for it to count for radio. So is there an amount of time that I have to watch? In other words, 40 minutes,
You're going to have to give a synopsis. You'll have to do the movie. Actually, we're going to launch a new segment of the show called The Movie Report with Chris Michaels, and you'll have to give your commentary and your review of each movie that we've given you.
Danny, you lost me when you said synopsis. What does that mean? I don't even know what that means. I gotta look this up now. Synopsis.
Well, then you'll learn a word of the day. Hopefully you got the word of the day toilet paper.
That's what we should have gotten him for Christmas.
Oh, God. Like there's not enough stress in having to watch movies. Now I gotta learn words I don't know.
If they saved Private Ryan, you got to know if the guy walked the Green Mile. You got to know whether or not
at least.
So
the Warriors got back. The Warriors got back to the island. I mean,
So you're telling me making a quick read on Wikipedia won't count?
Yeah, you got to know if the Princess Bride married his bride or her. Whatever. I mean,
we need
I can tell you what happened at the ending. With Princess Bride, he married his bride, divorced her, had about 5 baby mamas at the end. Bada bing, bada boom. That's the end of the story, right? Princess Bride. There you go. Like any marriage that happens nowadays. Look, I'm 100% going to be on this. My wife said she is going to call in on Monday to make sure and to tell people that I've watched it. My wife is the one benefiting from this because I probably watched 2 or 3 movies with her in the 21 years we've been married. So she's the one fully benefiting. As a matter of fact, she yelled at me yesterday. She says, when are you going to start watching the movies? Let's start watching the movies this week. I told her, I said, no. I said, we're not going to do it till next week.
Yeah, because why get a jump start on it, right? Why not make the wife happy at the beginning of the year, And then we talked about how women talk about how the men talk, and look what he just did. He voiced his wife, like she was the evil stepmistress in some other movie that he probably hasn't watched, like Cinderella.
Okay, if you're listening, dearest, those are Bob Miller's words, not mine.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife is very happy. Imagine waking up to this face every morning, Bob. If you turned around in your bed and you saw this face every morning, wouldn't you be happy?
That would be a negative, Ghost Rider.
Well, anyway, this weekend we will get it started. Bob said it has to be Saving Private Ryan. So that's what we'll do. That's the first movie. Now, I was thinking I can do a movie a week, but that won't cut it because there's only 52 weeks. So that would be 52 movies. I was doing the math.
No, you're going to have to do a couple in a week for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do probably 2 or 3 in a week to make this. So here we go. And I was telling Bob, I was like, man, you know, a little stressful this New Year's having to watch these movies. And of course, Bob was like, what are you stressed about? You're going to be watching classic movies. There's
yes. Oh, it's going to be great.
Yeah. You're going to catch up with the 21st century.
Yeah.
You know how much it's going to cost me, though, in popcorn and licorice that I'm going to have to buy to watch these movies? Because the only way I'm going to stay awake is if I have food in front of me.
Well, that's fine. You can do that. I mean, it's not that hard. Watch a movie. Gee, sit in the couch, watch a movie.
So we'll have that going on. So, yes, folks, that's what we're doing for Christmas Cash for Kids because the lack of movies I've seen. Danny and Bob are going to donate $1 each for every movie that I watch from here on out. And the last day is Christmas Cash for Kids, correct? That's the cutoff, right?
Yep.
Okay. The first day of Christmas Cash for Kids. So there you go.
I'm hoping you love this so much that you just continue to watch them. You will be the movie guy.
Right. You'll be Siskel or Ebert.
Well, I prefer the one that's alive. I think one of them's dead. So if I can be either one, I'd like to be the one that's alive. Thank you.
I think both of them might be gone. I could be wrong. Could be wrong.
Okay, well, hey, listen, that's not a bad gig they had. You know, they made all that money watching movies.
Again, watching movies. Not that hard. All right.
All right. So
my gosh, let's not take up this whole lady's time, man, with you and me yammering on.
All right, let's go.
My wife is home, and I've got a honey-to-do list.
Oh, boy.
All right, so get into local news. Hey, here's some good news, some cute news. Frederick Health Hospital welcomed the first baby of 2025 here in Frederick. Allison Herrera Hidalgo was born at 12:11 a.m. on January 1st. Ada Herrera Hidalgo's due date actually was December 23rd.
Oh,
and, yeah. That must have been stressful. I guess you didn't have any champagne celebrating New Year. When you know, yeah, right. Now they thought their daughter might be born around Christmas. However, she came on New Year's Day. So how about that, huh?
Yeah.
And 2 options have now emerged for how the city of Frederick could be divided into legislative districts. An ordinance to adopt full maps will be introduced during Thursday's city council meeting, outlining possible ways to divide the cities into 5 districts as part of the legislative body's move from a board of aldermen to a city council. It will grow from 5 members to 7. There'll be 1 council member from each district and 2 elected at large or citywide. And of course, unfortunately, it's a rough start to the new year. Me and Bob were talking about it all day. We all know about that Army veteran driving a pickup truck that bore the flag of the Islamic State group terrorists, brought carnage to New Orleans. New Year's celebration, killing 15 people. As of what I heard, 15 people. I'm not sure if it's gone up since then. Steered around a police blockade and slammed into the crowd before being shot dead by police. The FBI said it's investigating the attack early Wednesday as a terrorist act and does not believe the driver acted alone. Investigators found guns and what appeared to be an improvised explosive device in the vehicle, along with other devices elsewhere in the city's famed French Quarter. So, of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to all the family who were affected and the people that lost their lives. Again, last I heard, the death toll was 15. So,
absolutely awful. Yep. And this is the problem when people are saying, oh, just let anybody in the border. You know, we do believe, or I think I've heard reports that someone came across the border and met with him. And I just think that between that, what happened in, I think, Las Vegas as well, there was something. And, you know, those of us who kind of, you know, knew that something, you know, that things are going to start happening. And yeah, it's just very, very sad.
Yeah.
Well, Bob and I would.
Sad and disgraceful and makes us angry. And, I said this earlier on the morning show was that, as I was growing up, terrorist acts were, not uncommon, but they were never on our shores. And they have now become part of our lives. And that is something that I didn't grow up with. I don't want to grow up with it. I don't want my children and grandchildren to have to grow up with it.
No.
Yeah, Bob, I echo what you said. The first terrorist attack that I can remember on our soil was actually in '93 with the original bombing in the garage of the World Trade Center, Manhattan. And of course, we know what happened 6, 7 years, 8 years later, 9/11. After 9/11 happened, that's when, unfortunately, it seemed to be a thing now where these terrorist acts are in our country, and it's their MO have been, unfortunately, the past few years. Something that me and Bob talked about is taking cars and ramming them into people. And, getting back real quick to the Vegas thing you were mentioning, Danny, me and Bob were talking about this morning. Was it a coincidence that it was in front of a Trump hotel in a Tesla that's owned by Elon Musk? So you put those two together, Trump, Elon Musk, it's kind of makes you wonder.
Well, that and the other thing that is kind of interesting, and my daughter uses the app Turo, which is where they're saying that these cars were rented from. They weren't, Hertz, they weren't Enterprise, they weren't a normal traditional. This Turo app is where you can rent cars from just normal people. And that could have been an issue too. And we were talking because she loves to use that app every now and then. And I said something to the fact that it could really hurt this business if not shut it down. And she's like, well, other terrorist acts have happened with other. Did it hurt the airlines when they, went into the World Trade Center and other places? And I'm like, it's a little bit different. It's, it's a little bit different. I mean, it's an app. It's, and whether or not if they use this app so they could avoid these other companies that might scrutinize a little bit more. I mean, you have to have a credit card to rent from a rental company. You can't use a debit card. You can't use cash. It could be a little bit different when it comes to this company.
Well, but this isn't the first time this happened, Bob, too. These rental companies maybe need to do something more to protect people because 3 years ago, maybe it was, when that terrorist ran into those people in Manhattan, he used a Home Depot pickup truck that he rented. So what can they do to protect us and look further? What can you do, Bob? That the problem is
you don't think you can do anything.
Yeah, you solve a problem and then they find a way to get around it to do something else, unfortunately.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Getting into weather real quick. Let's see. Today it is a chilly morning. Snow showers possible this morning. Peaks of sunshine maybe later on with a high of only 39. Tonight, few clouds, be low of 28. We'll have some wind at around 10 miles an hour, not as high as it's been the past few days. And then taking a look at your TGIF weather, cloudy with snow showers developing tomorrow in the afternoon, high of 39. And tomorrow night, some clouds early will give way to generally clear conditions tomorrow, low of 24.
All right, in sports, yesterday, obviously, the one game that a lot of people probably wanted to see, the college football playoff quarterfinal, the Sugar Bowl between Georgia and Notre Dame was postponed because of those attacks. That will be played this afternoon at 4 p.m. And if I'm in New Orleans and I'm thinking about that, 70,000 people heading to the Superdome, how and what will they do to enhance the police protection and security down there? And will Americans be okay with having to deal with that security? We don't typically like to do that, but we'll see what happens. There is a football game that needs to be played. It will be a good one as well. Another good one yesterday, if you were a Buckeyes fan, the number 6 Buckeyes rolled into the college football playoff semifinals with a 41-21 win over number 1 Oregon at the Rose Bowl game, the 111th Rose Bowl game. And Arizona State were that close to pulling off a big upset over Texas, but Texas came back and ended up winning that game yesterday in the Peach Bowl yesterday by a score of 39-31. And Jordan Poole posted 30 points, continued his strong stretch in a Wizards uniform. Wizards beat the Chicago Bulls 127-107. There you
The Wizards are still a thing, Bob, in DC? I didn't know that.
Yep, absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, gentlemen. Well, we thank you so much for joining us this morning. We will see you tomorrow morning, same time, for your local news, weather, and sports with Bob and Chris from
Thank you.
Morning
and I'm going to go
News
check out
Express.
Heart Home Solutions.
Yes, you should. All right, get on that honey-do list, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All right. See you. Bye.
Bye. All right. Want to thank them so much. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to go over all the events happening in Frederick. I am the events queen, self-proclaimed, of course. Then we've got David and John talking Battle for South Mountain fundraiser basketball game, and Aarman, Black Bolt AI is his company, and we're going to find out a little bit more about that as well. All of that is right after this.
Cosmec Healing handcrafted small batch tinctures and transdermal salves, double third-party tested for quality you can trust. If you've got pain, headaches, or anxiety, our products are here to help you find relief. Patient over profits mindset, 'cause we're patients too. CosmecHealing.com.
Real estate goddess, yeah. She's the one to get you there. Homes and dreams of perfect, yeah. Shannon Flannery beyond compare.
This portion of Good Morning Frederick is powered by Ken's Automotive and Transmissions, Total Car Care. Need an oil change or brakes? Ken's Automotive and Transmissions can take care of that. How about exhaust or engine work? Ken's Automotive and Transmissions can do that too. No matter what you need for your car, Ken's Automotive and Transmissions is Total Car Care. Go to kenstrans.com to schedule an appointment today.
Ah, yes. Let's talk about what is happening in Frederick. I'm telling you, there's always something great. Happening in Frederick is sponsored by Taco Bar in Frederick and Taquito in Hagerstown. Taco Bar is located in West Point Plaza, just off Route 40 in Frederick, and Taquito is at 812 Frederick Street in Hagerstown. Taquito offers the same great quality food with a drive-through experience. TacoBar1.com or Taquito by TacoBar.com for more information. Check out any specials and see what they are doing. All right, let me pull up our events calendar. There we go. All right, if you want to see this events calendar, check out the description in the video you're watching right now. You can find all of the events that we've got on the calendar. I've got my son Cooper working very hard to add new events as we move along into the new year. And I'm going to check to make sure all the recurring events are still happening as well. But you can follow along, and I just really highlight a couple great events for each day. Still would like to give you gifts. It is not the time to stop gift giving. No, right now you can still get a free Maryland Lottery scratch off if you're 18 or older from the Maryland Lottery and Good Morning Frederick. Just text the word gift to 888-465-2944. And I'll get some details from you and we'll get you a scratch off. And you're going to have to go pick it up at the Home of Everything Frederick in downtown. And when you do, you want to make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Then you can pull a number off the wall, hand it to the person behind the counter, and you're going to get a prize, okay? There were a bunch of these still on the wall when I was there, I think before, it might have been New Year's Eve. So you want to head over there. We still got plenty of prizes to give out, okay? Thursday, today, January 2nd. There are tons of local high school sports happening today. Support your local high schools. It's affordable to get in, buy some concessions, enjoy your neighbors' kids playing sports. We want to support our local high schools. By doing so, you're supporting your local community. At 7 p.m., you can go see some live jazz at 10th Ward. Or you can head over to Tropic Spots for some karaoke and maybe head down to UMD to see the Lady Terps play at Xfinity Center. Tomorrow, more sports. They had to get them all in because they missed 2 weeks of school. They're still not even in school till Monday. Or how about some prime rib at Callahan's? And you can grab your tickets if any are available for Maryland Double Deckers. It's one of the last weekends this is happening to see the lights. And people do still have their lights up, and downtown is still decorated for a while. On Saturday, again, you can book your tickets for Maryland Double Deckers. We are a proud sponsor of Winter Wonderland. And you're going to want to head downtown first Saturday in Frederick. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on leading up to the biggest first Saturday, which is Fire and Ice, which is February's first Saturday. Then on Sunday, how about brunch at Frederick Social? You should head over there. The food was unbelievable. So good. Or how about watching some football, either at Rack Brewing or at Benstown, or head over to Idiom. We love our local breweries. And there's Bricks and Brews. So if you like Legos, which they can't call it that, I don't think, but and having a couple beers, you can do that at Idiom. And you can sign your kids up for some skills development with the Flying Cows, which happens at Crestwood. All right, here are our coming soons. The last of the double deckers is next weekend, the 10th and 11th of January. Also on the 11th of January, it is the Brunswick Pop-Up Market. That happens right on West Potomac Street. Indoor, climate controlled. You gotta love that. And January 14th, it is Good Morning Frederick's 200th show. You're going to want to mark your calendars to watch live. Have it streaming from 8 to 10 on whatever platform you watch on. We are going to be giving you a portion of 200 Maryland Lottery scratch-offs plus tons of other prizes. You're going to have to be watching, though, because it's going to require you to text in to get those prizes. Winners will be selected on the spot. So 800 or 888, let's get the number right. 888 465-2944. Add us as a contact in your phone. 888-465-2944. Just put Danny or Good Morning Frederick in there so that you're ready to go. Tell your friends and family to watch as well. Again, we're going to have some big prizes. And then on the 16th, it is trivia for singles at the Home of Everything Frederick from 6 to 9 p.m. We're going to have a good time doing that as well. On February 5th, it is the African Americans of Excellence exhibit kickoff at the Weinberg Center. Get your tickets now, weinbergcenter.org. February 8th, it's the Bootleggers Ball at Union Mills. The tickets are on sale for that as well. February 20th, Critters on the Catwalk at Warehouse Cinemas. It's a benefit for Focus, which is the homeless animals. It is a $25 ticket to be there, and we want you to enjoy that and support that organization. I'll have to check with Diane to see who won the raffle for Common Market. And March 5th, it is the African Americans of Excellence reception and auction. You can purchase one of the photographs or one of the art pieces that was completed for that event. Plus, some of the honorees will be on hand, as well as some of the artists. There will be an auction posted in mid-February where you can actually participate in the auction for the items online as well. But we would love for you to come out to that reception and enjoy all the great work representative of the honorees, who are a great part of our community of Frederick. If you have an event you want included in our calendar, all you have to do is email it to everythingfredericklive@gmail.com and I'll get it on. If you want some additional exposure, just let me know. I'm happy to help you promote your local event. All right, one more quick break. Then we're back with David and John and the battle for South Mountain and Aarman. Black Bolt AI is his company. He is just a senior at Urbana, and I think it's amazing what these kids have created. I'm so happy to highlight them. All of that is coming up just after this message.
Dream Free Art, Frederick's first and only splatter room. New location, new beginner-friendly artful shenanigans for all ages. Come fling paint and make a masterpiece in Dream Free Art's splatter room, or join us for a fun and unique art experience. Book your next birthday party, corporate event, date night, or family outing at dreamfreeart.com to unleash your inner artist today. Dream Free Art. Free your creativity.
A&S Construction is a local and award-winning woman and minority-owned business, and they are right here in Frederick. A&S Construction specialize in roofing, siding. They can also do your windows and gutters and even build you a new patio or deck. Call Sandra 301-703-2157 or email info@ansconstruction.net. Because you watch Good Morning Frederick, the offer is $750 off any roof or siding replacement or $50 off any roof repair. Just let Sandra know you saw her on Good Morning Frederick. Remember, A&S Construction, roofing, siding, gutters, windows, patios, and decks, pretty much everything on the exterior of your home, they can take care of that for you. All right, let's talk about who is doing good in our neighborhood. We have Doing Good in the Neighborhood, sponsored by Intense Barbecue. Rob happens to be watching this morning. Want to thank him for tuning in. Intense Barbecue is family-owned barbecue food truck and catering company. They cook in small batches to ensure the food is as fresh as it can be, and I can attest to that. You can find them at intensebarbecue.com. That's IN, the number 1, the number 0, bbq.com. When you have Intense Barbecue's food, you will satisfy your meat tooth, and I can attest to that as well. All right, David and John are hosting the second annual Battle for South Mountain in March. Brunswick versus Middletown. They are looking for sponsors, and they want to make sure you mark your calendar for this fun event. At the Home of Everything Frederick, I'm with John and David. David is from Brunswick Middle School, and John is from Middletown Middle School.
Yep.
Good, got it, okay. And we're talking basketball, but a cool event. You started, well, I was in touch with you last year. Mm-hmm. Battle of the South Mountain, I think is what it was called.
We're putting an annual on it. So this is the second annual Battle for South Mountain. It's
awesome.
Halfway point kind of between Brunswick and Middletown.
Yeah, very cool.
Kicked around Battle for 340 for a little bit, became a Battle for South Mountain.
I know, we need like the Battle of the Beltway. Yeah. We don't have a Beltway. You need, the alliteration. I need to come up with a better name.
Yeah.
But it was very successful last year. You guys raised a lot of money for the Mental Health Association of Frederick County, which is really cool. You had a lot of people in attendance. So it's a staff versus
staff. So
staff versus staff from each school?
From all schools for both Middletown and Brunswick.
Okay, so from all the elementary, middle, and high,
right.
You collect all these people and you battle one another.
Yep.
Who won last year?
Middletown did. Oh. It was a crazy game, though. It came down to the last few minutes there. So we'll see what happens. We'll be at Brunswick this year.
Okay,
so
I like it. Okay,
so 28th at 7 o'clock.
All right, very good, very good. David, I know the idea for this came kind of because you had done something similar at a previous school that you were at, and you just kind of had this vision that something that could be really cool.
Yeah, I had some success with like Stafford student basketball games. Last year was the first attempt at a Stafford staff game, and I mean I was optimistic about it, but I mean like we've been talking about, like it was a resounding success, and I was shocked at how well we did.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest piece, like John and I talked about when we first met, we actually met at, I think, the cross-country meet.
Yeah, it was at the cross-country meet that our county does.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I wasn't supposed to run it either. And David reached out to me with this idea, and we've just kind of run with it ever since.
And we originally kicked around like making like a fundraiser for like our PE departments at our schools, but we kind of quickly came to the realization that it would be better for everyone if we, picked an organization that helps all the community, and we settled on the Mental Health Association of Frederick, because not only does it help like the kids we teach, it also helps the families of the kids we teach and the overall community. And I think mental health is an issue near and dear to my heart, and I think it affects all of us, whether we admit to it or not. So I think the more we can destigmatize that and just make it something that's out there in the forefront of people's minds. To me, it's almost like the final frontier of health, because we have all these charities for physical health and cancer awareness, things like that, and those things are important. They definitely have a need, but there's not as much out there for mental health. So that's our why behind why we do this.
Yeah. So right now, you guys are looking for sponsors to help support you, because having sponsors allows you to advertise, to attract more people, to be more successful and donate more money, which is awesome. Plus the sponsors get to participate in a really cool event. How was it during the game last year? Was there any smack talking? Is there any...
There's a lot of huffing and puffing.
A lot of huffing.
I was kind of running the behind the scenes last year.
Okay. You weren't out on the court?
Yeah. This year I hope to be a lot more than last
how does
year.
that work? How do you choose the starting lineup and the...
Last year our admin selected it, so this year...
We had two guest coaches last year. We had celebrity guest coaches from the Frederick Flying Cows. We had, I don't want to get the names wrong, we had Dion, I think Lyles, and Tevin Foster. Tevin Foster is still with the team. Dion's no longer with the team, but we're expecting a couple of guest coaches again this year to help us out.
Oh, very nice.
Including the mascot, too.
Oh, yeah. You got to have milkshake anywhere you go. You absolutely do. Well, look, I think this is a great event. So it's March 28th. It's at Brunswick this year?
High.
Okay,
7 p.m. tip-off. Doors open at 6:15.
Okay. And then there'll be concessions for sale. What else are you guys doing at the event that people should be prepared for?
We'll have raffles, concessions, like you said, even a dessert truck potentially as well.
Nice.
Yeah, we're looking at some outside vendors. Brunswick's JT Naylor, he does a lot of concessions and does stuff around Brunswick.
Okay.
He'll be in the building.
So bring extra cash that you can support this great event, March 28th. And if you want to sponsor and support what these guys are doing, you can reach out right to David or John. They'll take care of you and make sure your company is part of this, hopefully a tradition, annual tradition.
That's the hope. Yep.
All right. We appreciate you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that's going to be a fun event. We're going to have more from them as we near that date. But if your company, especially if you're part of Brunswick or Middletown's communities, you're going to want to be a part of that for sure. Okay, we are going to do Market Makers. Oh, yes. Market Makers is sponsored by Antietam World Travel Service. Travel better with Antietam World Travel Service, your gateway to worry-free journeys. With their extensive network, unmatched experience, and personalized services, you can explore the world with confidence and ease. When you work with Antietam World Travel Service, you get convenience, experience, and connections. Go to AntitamTravel.com right now and get started on your dream vacation. Well, we've got some amazing people in our Frederick community, and these young up-and-comers are going to, really cement Frederick on the map. Here is Aarman. He is a student entrepreneur, and he has created a company called Black Bolt AI. Excited to welcome Aarman to Good Morning Frederick. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. So you are a junior at Urbana High School, and I recently saw you in the junior entrepreneurial pitch competition for the city of Frederick, and you came out in first place for a business that was what did they call it? You were the startup, right? Startup and idea phase. That exactly. Okay. Your company is called Black Bolt AI. Please explain to our viewers what your company does.
So Black Bolt AI is basically a web application. It's basically a website where you can create AI chatbots that are powered by the PDFs that teachers use to teach their classes. So, teachers, usually use Google Slides or PowerPoints to teach their classes. They can upload those PowerPoints to our platform and the AI learns from those slides and then can answer questions for students that they have and also can provide notes, AI generated notes relating to the PowerPoints.
I mean, this is incredible because I know with my own children that once you leave school and you're doing your homework, there's nothing worse than having a question that you can't get answered for 18 to 24 hours, right? Is this the reasoning that took you to create this?
Yeah, pretty much. Also a little bit just because of tests, right? The day before a test, right? If I want to study and I have a question, or maybe I just forgot a lot of the lesson, I just can look at the notes, ask questions. It's pretty
Yeah.
useful.
Yeah. And this is where I say when we use technology for good, it can really help to advance students and just, again, give them the support that they need when teachers are not available to ask questions. It also makes a teacher's life a little easier if you have a student who may miss because of an illness or something else several days worth of work, right? Because the information that is covered is accessible to the student, and potentially the AI can actually even deliver the information to the student in a format that they can learn from. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So right now you have a website that is functional and able to go ahead and take in documents.
Mm-hmm. And it's actually already being used at the local community college, Frederick Community College.
Very good. That's awesome. So, what is the cost of this to a teacher or a school? How does this work?
So currently we're just testing it, so it's free for anyone to use right now. But what we're hoping to do is eventually partner with public school systems like FCPS and then charge them a monthly subscription and maybe a fixed cost for setup and then basically what would happen is teachers would be able to create AI chatbots and then they would be given a link, right? And then they can just share that link with their students. Students just have to click the link and then they can ask any questions they would have.
If a teacher is using this now, I mean, obviously, I would hope that they're providing you some feedback because you know that there will be, bugs or fixes or things that you're going to need to put into the AI as it's generating this information, right?
hmm So some feedback that I did get is that teachers are actually able to use this um, not only for um not only for just answering students questions, but they're even able to use it to generate their own questions for like tests, and just students can also use this to practice with their own, practice by themselves, ask it to ask them questions. And I want to add additional tools that allow AI to generate maybe just practice questions that students can use, right? So they can, review and study and make sure that they understand material properly.
Yeah, which is great. Again, for both teachers and students, if you're coming up to a test, you can do these practice tests leading up so that you know where your gaps may be in the learning or where you may need to focus. And for a teacher, how much time would that save if they can literally upload these documents, they would be able to then, and not, I'm sure you probably weren't even thinking this way, but eliminating, the potential for cheating from one class to another, they could literally give a test that writes different questions every time, right?
It's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I know that's probably not where you were going with that, but really for a teacher, especially some of the higher learnings or colleges where, it's very difficult to mass produce a couple different tests, this would make it very simple. And eventually, even if you were to do a test on a device where you could actually almost make a different test for each student, right? So, you could literally eliminate the potential of looking on your partner's paper or on your partner's device for an answer. You could almost eliminate that, which I think, is ultimately a good thing. You want to make sure the students know the work. So this is excellent. How did you feel about the pitch competition?
I was very nervous, honestly, leading up to it. And whatever I had practiced, like, what I said on stage was quite different from what I practiced. But
Really?
I think it turned out well, though. I think it turned out
I
well, though.
mean, obviously it did, since they awarded you the money for the startup. That's really good. But it is funny because when you get in front of people, you want to spill as much information, get people excited as you can, and it's hard to recreate that in practice. Is there anything that you learned that you would do differently now that you've done this pitch competition?
One thing I would probably do differently is just kind of explain more clearly the pricing because, I feel like there was still some confusion based off of the questions that were being asked, right? I was a bit, I had to, kind of explain, and I think still I didn't really explain very clearly how pricing would work.
Yes, and I've said this many times to you guys who are so smart, too smart for your own good, I say, in a jokingly way, but you have to dumb down what you've done for those of us that don't understand the process behind it. But I think even for you, having the AI more clearly demonstrated, kind of like even recording a teacher uploading documents, seeing the information that comes out, kind of demonstrating the website in a way that really makes it clear, because you students all are very, very smart. And those of us who are not quite up to your capability, for us, we need kind of the practical ways to make this a business. Well, look, we are here to support you as you move through. If there's ever anything that we can do, let us know. Obviously, as the winner, we are here to help you market your company when you're ready to do that as well. And the Frederick community is very, very proud of you. And we're happy that you are part of our community for sure. Is there anything else that you would like our viewers to know? Well, first of all, why don't you give the website?
blackboltai.onrender.com.
Okay.
And I just wanted to thank you, for all the kind words and all the help. And just one more thing I would like to say
Yeah.
is that, I think that I'm gonna add more and more and more updates, and the AI is definitely gonna get a lot more accurate over the next few months. I'm currently, also doing like more research, and I'm doing an internship relating to very similar stuff. So, it's gonna be a lot more accurate soon.
Oh, yes. We have no doubt that as technology moves at the speed of light, so will you, to make this more practical and probably even expand the uses, even just beyond the classroom. So we have no doubt that you will keep up with all of that. Well, Aarman, we really do wish you all the best. Please stay in touch as you move along in the process, and we'd love to hear how things are going.
Sounds good. Thanks so much.
Oh, my goodness. Can you imagine a junior in high school? When I was a junior in high school, I was nowhere near what these kids are doing. It's so phenomenal. All right. Tune in tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. or you can watch anytime on YouTube. Mark your calendar, January 14th. You don't want to miss the show live. Tell a friend about Good Morning Frederick. Get them to subscribe if you can. Have an amazing day, and let's get out there and be great.